I will, when you instruct me to.
Okay, well,
I just tested it, so.
we put out the microphones. I don't know if they're.
We had one right here. I don't know what went.
See if these are blinking red.
Oh, your microphone. Oh.
The other one's blinking red. So I don't know if they have to be set up.
Wait, let me make sure which one this is. Oh, okay. Thank you for reminding me. I will go into airplane mode. You know how to do the
Yes.
Actually, I don't want to do that. I want it.
So if it's on, we can just mute it, right?
Yes. And where I hit the button, it's that bottom button.
I got it.
So when you're not talking, you can mute your original microphone.
What do I do? Just sit?
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Make sure you unmute it when you are talking.
Now what now?
That just means it's muted.
Just
Muted.
touch it. Touch
Do we
the
remember what
thing
the
and
password is red and that one's new?
And then push the bottom again, it'll be green, then you know you can talk.
Oh, cool.
Okay, does everybody have a microphone in front of them? Share one, or we got enough? One, two.
Here. You turned it off, Allison.
build it, I guess.
Tell me when to start recording, I will.
Okay, I'm gonna put my phone on. Okay, well, it looks like.
Hey, do we have a thing to log in?
Oh, we are?
Oh, hold on.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Just got sorted out
Let's see if I can.
Okay.
do
this
it.
afternoon.
Okay. Come on.
Is that on? Push it till it's
Wait a
spring.
minute.
Huh.
I wanna get, so
Yeah, it's on now.
it's not letting
So
me.
it's
Oh,
blinking green, it's on.
okay. Okay, so,
You'll have to cue Jenny when you want to start.
okay, go ahead. Is it all caps, Allison?
It's all lowercase.
Okay, let me try it
All
again.
1,000.
Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order, and I have just been informed that we are live streaming. Megan, do you know what the address is?
Okay, so it's live streamed directly to the district website, so www.WTCMUD1.org. And for now, since we just sorted this out this afternoon, if you go to the link on the homepage where it's the notice for tonight's meeting, it'll take you to a page with all the meeting information for tonight, and included on that, it says View Live Stream. So
Okay.
in the future, I'll get an actual URL for it, and we'll figure out where on the page it's going to sit. But for now, it's also going to be linked through all the meeting documents.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so let's start with agenda item number 1, public comments. Did we have anybody who signed in and wanted to make a public comment? Okay, well, I'm seeing David Flores, and is that you, Gerald, behind that mask? Okay, so David, did you want to make a public comment?
Yes.
And did you want to speak to an agenda item?
No.
Okay, and Gerald, did you have a public comment?
Yes, just a public comment.
And no agenda item. Okay,
Not at this time.
okay. Okay, so David, why don't you approach the microphone, and does he need to push the button on that one also?
It is flashing green, it's good.
Okay, go ahead.
Wanted to welcome everybody back. I'm glad that the governor made y'all come back, because I think it's very important to be able to see elected officials in the face, in the eye, and talk to them and let them know how I feel and how the public feels. So I would like to start with last month's meeting discussing the budget. There was something mentioned about compromise, okay, in the budget. And then, Megan, when it came down to making the budget, you commented, I am not giving up any of my money for the parks. So to me, that's not compromise. You know, we do have a lot of infrastructure issues that have to be resolved, and I think that we are here for water, and we need to work on water, not parks. If that gets the back burner, well, so be it. You know, I think we need to get that 12 months of reserve in the bank, and I think we need to work on Hatch Pond Station. first and foremost. Catherine, there's been a couple of communication policies violations that have happened, and you still haven't brought it to the attention of the public, and you haven't put it on the agenda, so I'm asking you to please put it on the agenda and address it. You are in charge of the meetings. You made the policy, stick to it, let's get it done. Beth, Catherine, I'd like to make a formal communications violation against Beth for lying to the Travis County Sheriff's Office. She stated to the sheriff, and I got an open records of that recording on a CD that I will send to you so you can hear it yourself. She lied to the officer and said that she had to call the cops on me because I went to her house harassing her son. Never once did that happen. If that happened, there would have been a police report. I open records requested everything at her address for the police to come.
We're at time, sorry. Okay, and Gerald, you have 2 minutes.
Okay. Hey, when I have 15 seconds left, say Mark. So this is going to be a real challenge for me.
Okay,
Is it ready to go?
okay, start, and he'll start the timer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bulletin, the properties between El Salito and Hatch, bordered by Spider Lily and Black Cherry, is private property, period. At the end of El Salito, of the easement, a resident has posted a sign saying such. There needs to be a sign on the gate at Hatch entrance, private property, keep out. The lots on Spider Lily and Black Cherry are contiguous, and I'm sure the board members understand that concept. The board needs to read its maps posted to its website. PEC easements between Hatch and El Salito extends inside the fences of all the properties on Spider Lily and Black Cherry, sometimes as far as 25 feet. The easements of Spider Lily and Black Cherry's lots is more than 60 feet wide. PEC can use their easement rights to mow these properties, but property owners cannot ask PEC to mow other people's properties. As a property owner, I own property on that easement. We can legally use our properties we see fit. I've lived in my house for over 5 years before PEC ever mowed any part of that easement. For what it's worth, I've had several conversations with the corporate attorney at PEC. At Hatch entrance, Infomark's phone number was put on the sign for the benefit of PEC and its vendors, but it's confusing people. The sign needs to have their phone number, not their name. Infomark is only the keeper of the key for the lock at the Hatch gate. They have no other relationship with the easement. At our closing 20 years ago, the title company told us we could use that land behind our fence at our discretion. And if a board member doesn't like the look of that naturalized area, I suggest the MUD change the gate to a solid one. That would be a good idea at this time since we have a budget going on. Changing the gate would help codify the property as private. Changing the sign would eliminate people thinking our private property belongs to the MUD and the PEC. And a board member would not have to worry about a resident thinking the MUD is violating its own deed restrictions. There was somebody at the MUD meeting several times ago, and they said Awana was it?
15 seconds.
Oh, it's time? Oh, sorry, my bad.
Okay. Okay, so we have a couple of other people who are here. Rose, would you like to make a public comment?
The same person as just a while ago, I prefer that we move down to the middle. It's a
Okay.
blur when they're speaking.
Okay.
It's kind of a blur, that's why I've asked for 2 years to move that in the
Okay.
middle of the room.
Okay, and would you like to make a public comment? Okay. Bill, would you do me a favor and move the podium off to the side?
Sure.
Thank you.
Turn off the microphone too, for now.
Okay, at this time, I'm now going to close the public comment section of our meeting, and I'm going to move to agenda item 2, which is management report from Sage Services.
Thank you.
You should have gotten the pictures.
report
Mm-hmm.
electronically. We did have 3 tours in July, so I left the July 30th pictures on there for your review because the tour happened after the data dump days. So it was not, the letters for those were not included. Is this on? Do you all have any questions on any of the pictures that you all saw?
No.
I tried to enlarge the ones that we have had questions on in the past. Wanted to bring to your attention that we had done a waiver for an RV in section 3, and then we had 2 more violations there, and so we have sent them letters, and they are, we had another appeal on that, and you all denied the second appeal because it was another fine. We have had another RV for someone that just moved in on Buckeye, and they are going to be moving it in the next 2 weeks. They did not know the rules, and they're looking for a storage facility right now.
Where is that one?
On Buckeye?
Is this our paper to keep?
Yes. Let me see. On the open storage page, I did take a larger picture of the issues that we have been getting several complaints on. One was on cottonweed. It has since been fixed. And then we've had new complaints. It was cleaned up. I took a picture of where it was the last time, but we did have a violation on the 30th and the 1st of August on Birch. Go through the fencing, that's pretty, we've talked about that one. We do have an unregistered vehicle that we had brought up at committee that we're going to be talking about later. And the vehicle that kept going, that was moving in between 2 houses on Blazing Star, they sent an appeal late today. The committee hasn't had time to review it. The good thing is that the unregistered vehicle, inoperable vehicle, has been moved. Do y'all have any questions?
No.
I do.
Go for it. I'll answer them the best I can.
Why isn't the inoperable vehicle on Birch with the tarp over it that was reported in June, why isn't it on July, August reports? It's still there in exactly the same situation, looking exactly the same.
I'm assuming you're talking about the one where you said that was it the radiator?
Car parts.
Or the car parts?
Yes.
We cannot go looking underneath.
In June, you reported it as an inoperable vehicle. What happened between June and now to make you believe it's operable?
The gentleman reported that he had someone come in and fix it, and he has the appropriate car cover on it, and it was taken away and it was brought back. And it's been
You're
fixed.
saying the truck was moved?
The truck was moved for repairs and it was brought back. That's what was reported to us. And it does have an appropriate car cover, and we cannot go looking underneath the hood to see if parts are missing.
So in June, when you determined it was inoperable, what made you think it was inoperable in June?
It was missing. If you would look at the side of the truck, it was short.
What was
So,
short?
The front part was short.
The tarp?
No. The front part, the shape of the vehicle, you could tell from the street that the front part, the hood part, it was shorter. It wasn't the appropriate size for that size truck. So we reached out to the gentleman. He called us back and he told us, yes, it's going for repairs. He called us and told us when it was going for repairs, and he called and told us when it was coming back. And it's got an appropriate car cover, and we cannot go looking at
Then
anything.
tell me about the truck that's on Old Mill that does not have an appropriate car cover, has a broken tail light, and is sitting at an angle. How come that one's not on the report?
Probably because it wasn't there when we went on tour.
It's been there for 3 months.
So
It hasn't been reported.
Oh, so you only get it
wait
when
a
they're
minute.
reported?
Okay, listen, I'm not gonna,
Don't interrupt me, please.
I may have missed it. Send me an address. I will
Okay.
double, triple check that and make sure that if it is truly inoperable,
Well, you can't tell that from the street, but I can tell you that it does not have whatever an appropriate car cover is. It has a little tarp over the windshield only. So that's, as a matter of fact, an officer had that car moved off the street because it was not registered since 2005, and I told you that 2 months ago. So I don't know how you handle that, but it seems like if some people are going to get cited for an inoperable vehicle, then we do that to everybody with an inoperable vehicle, and we don't use car covers to store inoperable cars, would be my suggestion.
okay, anything else?
Yes. I'm having a little difficulty with your reports because, for instance, there was in the batch this month an address that had 2 cars in the street, and both cars were cited as being in violation of overnight street parking. And I get to Sabinal where they have 2 violations, one's a garage door and one's a shed, that's on 1 violation letter. So my question is, if the person with the 2 cars in the street continues to park a car, any car, in the street, does that increase the number of violations, or is it violations against the car or against the property?
Bill, if you got 2 cars
This
in
is
the
on
street?
Grist Lane is the
If you
address.
got 2 cars that you're overnight parking, is that considered 2 violations or 1 violation?
Hasn't come up before, I would
I know.
consider it 2 violations.
Okay,
It had-
If you put them in the same letter and they only cure 1, then you're gonna have to deal with the fact you didn't have it in a separate letter.
My question then is, if that resident parks a 3rd car in the street, are we still on a friendly letter? Because it's a different car.
No, I think our policy is if it's a similar violation, if it's under the same provision in the declaration, even if it were a different car, it would be a second violation.
It would be. So even if these 2 cars that were cited each for the first time as a friendly notice, even if those 2 cars never appear again, if a 3rd car from that house appears on the street, that's a second notice. Is that what you're telling me?
yeah,
Under our rules, that's what it says.
yeah.
So Bill, can I
Sure.
add to that? We have had an issue with that when we had a resident that was parking 2 commercial vehicles with a trailer, and we were instructed at that time to send them letters for each vehicle and the trailer. So in that case, we did, but it was a chronic situation, and we did start off with a friendly where we addressed everything at once, but as it escalated, we were directed to send 1 to each because it was a chronic situation.
Yeah, there's really 2 issues. One is
Yeah.
you send separate letters, but then when the next violation goes,
Mhm.
like you had 2 at the same time, so I would treat that as, 1 stage, 2 violations but 1 stage, because they're at the same time. And if those vehicles go away and there's another vehicle, then that should go to the next level under rules.
It's just a different car.
Yeah.
Right.
So sending separate letters for the same violation just doesn't seem efficient, number one, and it just doesn't seem appropriate because I think we're trying to get a message that you're not supposed to park in the street overnight. It would be any car in the street overnight. So I don't understand the need for 2 letters other than it
I
racks
don't know
up the
if
number.
it's absolutely necessary. I think it's just, let's say you send 1 letter on 2 vehicles and they move 1, then your next letter will have to say, we sent you a letter on 2 vehicles, you moved 1, now the other one's still in violation.
It just gets
really
more
an
complicated.
administrative question, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I would say it's a good way of putting it. It's an administrative question. It's transactional is how we're trying to look at it. Okay.
I do want to ask the DRC committee for some of these that are in the 6th, 7th, 8th refine stage.
Right,
Who on the committee has talked to these residents?
I haven't.
Beth, you talking to anybody? The
No.
reason I'm asking is because if you've sent, in one case, 31 letters and the
Right.
violation continues to happen, your letters are not effective.
I agree with that,
So-
and that's why I think we're gonna be having some discussion about bumping a lot of this back, throwing this over the fence to legal tonight. So,
You don't think that an attempt at speaking to the resident would be more effective and less costly to the district?
in situations like this,
Who would speak to these residents?
The committee
Jimmy,
first.
have you made attempts to reach out to these residents?
On occasion, when asked to, yes, but we've also been chastised for attempting to also. So we get it both ways. And then, since the pandemic came up, I'm being very cautious with not only the resident, but myself. And on those occasions, I will go up and knock at a door and back off 15 feet. Sometimes people answer the door. Sometimes they're extra cautious. It's a varying thing. I don't mind doing that, but it's one of those deals where we need to go back to the committee. That's the way we've handled it in the past. And if you choose to do it, now you need to understand that most of these people are choosing, either they're not getting mail or they're choosing not to communicate via email or phone.
And we can go into it in more detail in closed session.
Okay.
I really wasn't referring to Jimmy or Diana talking to the residents because the residents didn't elect Jimmy or Diana.
Uh-huh.
I was really thinking it would be important for a board member to speak to the residents, and I start with the DRC committee, but if you're not comfortable doing it, I certainly will.
I'm more interested in throwing it over the fence.
To legal.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but I got a question.
Are your mics on? Can you speak? I just want to make sure that everything gets recorded.
Yes, it's on now. Thank you.
Kind of said.
How's the trend looking? I know we've had an unusual situation with the pandemic and stuff, but are our violations down, up, how?
Overall, violations are down, and we've had a lot of movement in and out of the district. And so the new violations are typically new people coming in, or if I look at when we last sent them a letter, it's usually in 2019. The chronics have been consistent throughout the pandemic, before the pandemic, and now. So those that have not just one violation, but 3 or 4 have been constant.
In your work opinion, is 90% of the work the same people?
Yes,
Or not?
same sections.
95, okay.
There's certain sections that we know are gonna have more overnight parking, and certain sections where we know the trash cans are gonna be out in the street. So, yeah, we can.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Diana, because I looked at your July 31st letters, the 14 violations you found on your July 31st tour, which I thought was odd because there were only 14 violations, and historically, for the last 9 months plus, there have been greater than 50, as much as over 150 violations per tour. But on this particular tour, on July 31st, you only found 14 violations. And of those 14, 12 of them are what you term chronic. It appears from the list of 14, 12 people were targeted because they have been repeat offenders. There were only 2 new violations on that list of 14. So I'm questioning, did you look at the whole neighborhood on the 14th? Not one trash can violation?
Are you
Nothing?
talking about trash cans in view for those sections, or are you talking
I'm
about
talking-
trash cans in the street
I
for
am
sections 1 through
talking,
6?
I am talking about all the violations spotted on July 31st, 14 of them only, 12 of them being what you call chronic violators, the ones that you have on your list month after month. They got violations on July 31st and only 2 new sightings of anything. Now, every month, bar none, you cite trash cans for being either on the street or on the side of the house. There's always a trash can violation. There's always open storage violations. There's always new stuff, usually gets corrected before the next meeting, but there's always new stuff. Well, this particular July tour of yours, number one, didn't read 50-plus violations, and 12 of the 14 were those ones you term chronic. So it looks to me like they were targeted, like you
Oh, I
drove
think
into
that's
the
a very
district.
bad, that is a very mischaracterization.
Tell me then how that would, how only those that are in the crosshairs got cited on
It's not
July
even-
31st.
I can
It's not
answer,
about-
I can answer
I
that
was
question.
gonna say, I
Please.
think I went
I
with
can
you
answer
in
that
July.
question. Yes.
Please.
I did go with you in July.
We, because of the situation that we are in with the board members, the ACC has not been able to present the work and the documentation for the trash cans in the street. Therefore, the trash cans in the street, even though we did take pictures, we have not been sending them letters because we don't have the documentation to back it up yet. After we've been documenting all these large numbers and had complaints about how many letters we're sending, we went ahead and scaled back on the trash cans on the street and just hit the ones that we know are in an area of, they need to address this because they're gonna get in trouble soon. They're not at fine stage, I think we only sent one. They're not at fine stage, but if it continues on the trend that they're going, they will be pretty soon, and we wanted to let them know, hey, you need to communicate with us because we need to get this addressed.
It's not trash cans on the street, that's of a concern, because I really don't think those are valid violations in the first place. My concern, what about the trash cans on the side of the house? They still exist.
Yes, they do.
And they were not on that
And there's
list in
some
July.
days when there's a whole lot of them, and there's some days when they're
Then there's
not.
none of them. You're telling me on July 31st there were
Well,
none
there
of them?
wasn't none. You just said there was 12.
12 repeat, not trash cans.
It doesn't matter if they're repeat or they were
Diana,
there on that day.
It's impossible
We
because
have to-
you're
we
unwilling.
have
I
to
just-
take the
You're
photos.
unwilling.
I
To
No,
disagree.
you disagree.
Disagree
We
all
just
you
disagree.
want.
Right, listen, we know that we have a very small percentage of what we will call repeat offenders. We've got 1,800 some odd hookups and, so 1,700 houses. The fact that we've got 12 people, 15 houses in the entire district, I think tells us that we're actually doing pretty well.
It seems that if you only cite them on July 31st, you've targeted them.
I disagree with that.
You
I
can.
totally disagree
You
with
can.
that, you know, okay. What else have you got, Diana?
I was waiting for your questions.
Okay. I'm ready to go into executive session.
Okay.
Okay. You have the little thing for me to read there? And do we have lights? It's getting a little dark in here.
So which items,
I think it's number 2, isn't it?
that's the report.
Yeah,
Three
well-
is the appeals,
Yeah, 3. 3 is appeals, that's right.
7 is the matters with the attorney,
Okay, so we're gonna do
it's the request for accommodation. I'd recommend we do 3, 7, and 8 if you want to go.
3, 7, and 8. Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into executive session, we're gonna shut the doors, and we're gonna need everybody who wants to stay for the rest of the meeting to be outside. Hold on.
We're not shutting these doors, we're just shutting that door, right?
Right, but they have to go out, yeah. Our audience has to leave.
Do the cameras have to go as well?
The cameers?
They can't be in executive session.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the cameras have to go as well.
And-
After she
and-
reads the announcements, we'll mute the microphone, turn off the camera, pause the recording.
Okay, do you have any, oh.
Yes. You have now.
No, you would think I'd have it memorized, you're right.
3, 7, and 8.
Okay.
Cooler in here.
Okay.
Cooler out there, that isn't.
The Board of Directors will now go into closed session for consultation with the district attorney pursuant to sections 551.071 of the Texas Government Code regarding agenda items 3, 7, and 8. No action will be taken during the closed session. Okay.
So if everybody could, just a question, mute your microphone.
Turn off the recording.
Yes.
Or pause the recording.
Stop.
been here very long, that we started at 6:15, was it? Something like that, so that tells you how long we stood outside.
Sometimes they do run a long time.
Code in one of the toilets. Is it you?
Alive?
I think he's dead. But I keep thinking, how did he get there?
Don't flush it or you'll plug them up. Next thing you know, when you Roto-Rooter again.
Is everybody back?
Yeah.
Okay, Catherine, if you could turn on your mic, Jimmy says that'll help when he starts it.
Okay.
You can go ahead and start the recording.
Already started.
Okay.
Second on.
Okay. The Board of Directors has concluded its closing session and is returning to the open meeting. No action was taken during the closed section. Okay.
Other than a lot of accusations.
Okay.
Not going for it.
So pending appeals, agenda item 3. I make a motion to waive the first fine from the Madeline Loop address for yard issues. Can I have a second? Okay. Do we have any discussion?
Hold on, before we go past that, since I don't have an address, let me see how many Madeline Loop issues, or we have on that one. Just one, okay. Thank you.
Okay. So, with no discussion, I'll go ahead and call the vote. Linda?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Art?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
I vote yes too. Okay. I make a motion to waive the second fine for the inoperable vehicle on Buckeye. Could I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay. So do we have any discussion? If not,
So, wait, so this is Buckeye, you said? And you're only gonna waive the second fine, not the first? Do I understand that correctly?
that is correct.
Hold on. This is for street parking?
No, this was for the inoperable vehicle and
Parts
the
on the ground.
parts on the
Parts
ground.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Oh, it says trailer in the letter, that's why I did it. Okay,
Okay, so I'll go ahead and call the vote. Linda?
yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Art?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
And I vote yes too. Okay, so I make a motion that we put the fines in abeyance for the property on Sabinal where the resident has suffered a medical condition and hopefully, okay, I'll just make that motion. So,
Didn't you say till the end of the year?
yeah, till the end of the year. So through, I guess through December is how we're going to handle it. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Okay. So, do we have any discussion?
Yes, I would like to go over to that residence and fix their problem. You got a problem with that?
And
I'm gonna trim their shrubs and fix their garage door. You have a problem? They have a medical condition, they need help. That's what this board should be doing. not tormenting them.
I'm not going to argue about that, but my suspicion is going to be Cedar Park overhead garage doors is probably going to be is
The amount of fines, this house had $1,450 in fines, it'd be a lot cheaper to replace that. It won't be overhead garage doors that fixes it, but at least an offer of that kind of help to people who apparently need it.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm questioning whether or not you're going to be able to fix
Well,
the
if I don't ask, I won't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have any problem with that? Does any member of this board have a problem with me helping these people?
No.
Thank you, I will help these people.
Okay. Okay. So I will go ahead and call the vote. Linda,
Yes.
Megan,
Yes.
Art,
Yes.
Beth,
Yes.
and I vote yes too. Okay. Okay. Okay, I make a motion that we refer the house on Birch to legal to deal with the outstanding violations for the boats and the open storage.
Melba Pass, right? Is it
No, it was Birch.
Birch?
Birch. Could I get a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay. Do we have any discussion? Okay, I will go ahead and call a vote. Linda?
I'm going to abstain from this vote because I think this family has been harassed by this board and the previous one.
Okay, Megan?
Yes.
Art?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
I vote yes too, and I think, and I will just say for the record that I think that the amount of continuous violations over the last 18 months shows that no, there has not been harassment. I vote yes too. Okay, and I think that is the end for the appeals. And
Well, the referral, the Birch, to me,
Yes.
is actually under number 7.
oh, I'm sorry, did I miss that one?
Well, it's for the minutes, it comes under 7.
Okay, okay. Okay, so that was appeals. 4 is minutes from the prior DRC meetings. I think they might have been late, but we've got, was it 3 months worth here to look at?
Yeah, I had a hard copy, if anybody needs a hard copy, you have them. There's 3 months, which are April, May, and March,
Okay,
that we just essentially released to the board today.
there's an agenda item on Wednesday for minutes, aren't there?
Yes, you can do any minutes you want
Okay.
on Wednesday.
So if the people want to go read them, tonight, we can approve them at the next Wednesday meeting. Is everybody okay with that?
I read them for
Okay.
tonight, but if other people haven't, then.
Okay.
Well, I read March 15th
I
Okay.
did not read any of them because they came.
and May. I read May. I didn't read April. I just missed it.
So we're going to defer to.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
Wednesday.
defer it till the next meeting. Okay. Okay, agenda item 5 is upgrades to the district's meeting recording equipment to allow for live streaming of the board meetings. Okay, so that's you, Megan.
Okay, so as we said at the beginning, the meeting tonight is live streaming. It turned out, miraculously, we already had the equipment that we needed to live stream. It was just a setting that they had to do, a touchstone or something, but we already had all the stuff. So basically, the way it's gonna work is there's gonna be a page on the website that has the live streaming meetings. And so it doesn't go through YouTube or anything like that, it goes straight through our district website. So there's no commenting or anything, the live stream isn't being moderated, it's there when the meeting's going on, and it's gone when the meeting's not going on, and then of course it's also still being recorded, so we'll have the meeting posted after the fact, just like we have in the past.
So, you might not know the answer to this. So, the live stream is basically what's being recorded? Is that the way it is?
I think so. I think it's the same cameras, so there's multiple angles, I think. So
Okay.
as far as I'm aware, I haven't obviously watched it.
Did
But
you
Okay.
test it before they started it?
the Touchstone tested it with Infomark. They tested all the equipment.
Or did you test the live stream, like somebody come in here, let them live stream it, you look from a different?
No, because they just sorted it out today and set it up today. I did test the website, the link, and the link was up. There's a video box there. It looked like it was going to live stream to something. So,
Okay.
but tonight was our test
test,
run,
yeah.
and it's awesome they
Was
were able to get it
activated
up so fast.
Oh, yeah, so we're live streaming. We're live.
Yes, so we
Yeah.
are live right now.
Yeah,
It could have been for the last year and a half.
yeah, we
That's
just
a
didn't know.
shame.
Yeah, we
That's a
just didn't
shame.
know. Okay, number 6, request for qualifications for general counsel. So, all of you were sent under cover not to, reply to anybody, the RFQ that Art and I put together. And so, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we accept the RFQ and publish the RFQ as presented. Art, go ahead and give me a second, and then we'll
Second.
start our discussion. So what does the board have to comment on the RFQ?
One observation I had is in the section, I don't have it in front of me, where it talks about the stuff that we're particularly interested in as a district. I didn't see in there any mention of understanding of deed restriction enforcement. Because
Okay.
that's kind of a, since a lot of MUDs don't enforce deed restrictions, it's kind of a very specific area of expertise that I feel like for us is really important.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I think that, I think it was sort of implied, because I talked about that we do DRC enforcement in the RFQ.
Yeah.
My intention when I was talking about areas of interest were areas that we really hadn't talked about or had any discussion about, because I was looking for those to be additional pieces of advice and from a topic point of view.
Right.
That's how I looked at it.
Yeah.
But I'm open to adding additional language to say that, and why don't you repeat what you said? DRC,
Well, familiar with municipal utility district and
We didn't put that in there, I thought we did.
enforcement of deed restrictions.
I think the focus of the RFQ should be more on the qualifications of the candidates. For instance, the number of years of specific experience working with MUDs, the resumes of staff to be utilized, references, more detail about their current workload versus availability. It might also be helpful to describe how the RFQs will be evaluated. Example, the scoring criteria and how they will be weighted against various elements of the response, like general firm experience, experience of staff, availability, proposed fee. That should not be heavily weighted, but it should have a weight. The appendix should be labeled as exhibit instead and be titled potential or anticipated areas of involvement instead of an attorney invoice matrix. This is an opportunity to get administrative tasks off the attorney's invoices and have the district's $1 million a year administrative support performing them. Agendas comes to mind. Also, I'd like to point out that we've had less than 48 hours to review this draft with nothing presented to this board prior to this draft. It will need until next Wednesday, September 22nd, to review it thoroughly and apply my reasonable judgment to this endeavor, one that will lead to the hiring of a competent legal counsel without any conflicts of interest. And I would like to ask Bill, have you expressly asked to be released from your contract?
No,
You have not, okay.
I think the whole board would know if I made that request.
That would be a
It's not
guess.
a release from contract. It's not really a contract per se, it's a letter of engagement.
Mhm.
And so if at any time the board is unhappy,
Mhm.
then they can end the relationship.
Or you.
It's always been like that.
Or you.
Or vice versa.
Mhm.
But no, I've not indicated that to the board.
Okay, and there are spelling mistakes throughout that document.
okay.
Okay, the first page, like response is misspelled. Who put that document together? Was it your wife? Was it your wife who did that for us? This RFQ?
No.
I asked because the edits on it say Suzanne Madrano?
Oh, I used her computer because
Well, that would explain it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I put it.
okay.
Why
I'm
did the
asking,
edit say, oh, because
No.
I put an edit comment.
there's
Yeah.
edit comments in it. When I
Yeah, I
opened
know.
it up to look
Yeah.
at it, I saw that and
forgot
I
to
said,
remove those.
who's that?
No, I
Yeah.
wrote it. I wrote it.
I'm sorry. It's on. It's on.
Yeah.
So that was the only reason I asked that question.
Okay, yeah.
So
I
it needs
wrote
some
it.
work.
It was
It's
just
not
on
ready
her
to
computer.
release.
I used her computer to do the Zoom meeting.
Sure.
Okay.
There's no criteria for evaluation, and that's really important. Otherwise, you just willy-nilly pick who you want. So we need to know what the criteria are. And it
Okay.
shouldn't be a
We're
job
gonna do
description.
We're going to do a scale, but why do we need to let them know what the weight is?
They don't need to know. The board needs to know. I need to know. Where are you putting your value? Is the lawyer good at deed enforcement, or is the lawyer good at the law? I prefer somebody who's more
So we're not moving forward with it today.
Well, I would still see this is what I've heard, is that there was some spelling errors that both you and I missed. Obviously, they were real words, but they weren't the intended words.
Minor.
Yeah, and that we want to make, add some verbiage so that it is heavier to DRC and familiar with enforcement with a MUD. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, and to be clear, I'm not suggesting that familiarity with deed restriction enforcement be the most important thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm just it just was omitted from the list of things that we are saying that we want the attorney to be familiar in. So
Okay.
since it's an odd thing for MUDs to do to begin with, it's a rare thing, we can't just assume that someone who's worked with MUDs before has experience in MUDs enforcing deed restriction. That was my only,
Okay. Okay.
just one of many things.
It should be about the attorney's qualifications, not a job description. You didn't ask for qualifications, you listed the things that Bill does.
No, I think what I did was I listed all of the things that we have been relying on from a legal expertise that we are dealing with. And so we are looking for somebody who is familiar with certain areas of the law, because Clark Richards is not the appropriate attorney to be our general counsel. He deals very differently.
Then I want you to add something about an attorney that has experience in open records, so we don't have to hire special counsel to do open records.
That was in there, right? Public Information Act.
Well, yeah, but it's important to remember we're talking about general counsel. We are always going to have specialized counsel. We're always going to have specialized litigators. We're always going to have specialized.
That makes sense, but you don't need a special counsel to understand public information laws. You need an attorney who knows how to handle public information requests, or even better, you need to force Infomark to do the job that's outlined in their contract, which is public information.
I'm not going to get into the pros and cons of
I'm telling you,
having
that's why your
specialized.
RFQ is no good, because you're literally not trying to save us any money. Why are you replacing him then?
This isn't about saving us money.
What are you doing it for?
Because one of the things that you harped on us from the beginning was you got to go out and do RFQs for our vendors. And so guess what? I'm giving you your ads. So
I love that idea, but why don't we start with the vendors who are defrauding the district?
they do
You're
not
the very
have,
person that said, yes, I think we should go
I know,
out
and I
do that.
gave you a perfect RFQ for one that needed to be done immediately, and you denied it, so.
Exactly, because he's doing a good job, and I didn't agree
So
with
is
this one
he.
either. You know,
You
but
think he
I
is
did it
too.
because, our president, said we could do it, and we did it.
But you
know,
didn't do
I
it.
think it's fine the way it is, but we'll make those changes, We'll include a scaling or a criteria.
okay.
We'll include that, but honestly, they better be top notch, because I'm not gonna vote for it unless they're as good as
And
me.
let me make a suggestion too, when these forms come, does McKinsey have any experience in processing of RFQs? Do we know that answer to that question?
I don't know the
We
answer
need to get that answer. And when she does collect those documents, she needs to put them on a shared drive and available to all board members.
I totally agree with that. It was always going to be, just as we have, as I publicized, I sent you the RFQ. The responses are also going to, go to the entire board also.
I'm asking that they be put on the shared drive that we don't have access to yet, or use of yet, working. But I would like that to be the very first thing, in addition to all the documents from Sage that they've never put on a shared drive, because that way we can look at them as they come in, and we can have time to process that information, and we'll be the only ones who have the scoring criteria, and we can objectively look at the applicants ourselves. I don't want to wait until one meeting like tonight where you present it and think it's going to get passed. That would be my preference.
So am I hearing this correctly, that we're not comfortable tonight doing, releasing our RFQ.
I'm not comfortable with your RFQ. It looks like a job description and not a request for qualification.
I
I
disagree.
disagree with you.
Well,
Yeah,
of course you do, you
yeah.
two wrote it.
Let's take a vote.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a vote. Linda,
No.
Megan,
And no, for the record, because the RFQ document is riddled with errors and does not reflect qualifications for
What
an
errors is
attorney.
it riddled with?
It has spelling mistakes.
That's what?
Spelling mistakes.
Okay, well, we can fix that. It's grammatical, so what?
And it omits the criteria for scoring.
the scoring is, wait a minute.
The
that
same
You don't
comes
give-
afterwards.
That's not part of what we're releasing.
Yeah, actually, you do release that so that people know what you're waiting it on.
Thought we were
I've
voting.
written a
not
lot of
arguing.
RFQs and I never put a scoring criteria on there. I never do.
For professionals?
Can we vote? instead
Yes,
of
You
arguing?
hire
Yeah.
professionals?
Catherine, can you?
Yes.
Not
Do you wanna
professionally, but I
revise
did it
Yes.
as an engineer for 1 year or
Motion
something.
to
Yeah.
include,
Yeah, okay, so
Whatever it is.
let me do this. Let me make a change to my motion. I'm going to, I move that we publish the RFQ as presented after review for spelling mistakes, and that we beef up the requirement for familiarity with municipal utility, or with MUD's doing deed restriction enforcement. Is that good? Okay,
and did you want to add the qualification? I don't know if you want.
okay,
The criteria.
you want to do the criteria?
Okay, but when do we have to have this done to get it out? We've got to give them.
She
what,
wants a
3-4
blanket
weeks?
approval tonight, and then she's gonna make the changes, and then they're gonna send it out and say, but you all approved it. I wanna see
Okay.
your document before you send it
So-
out.
So, listen, I'm with you, Art, that I've never seen scoring criteria included with either an RFP or an RFQ. Because that's all internal to the people who are receiving the response.
I want them as experts to tell me what they can do for us, and then that's how we'll score them.
Okay,
Exactly.
but you don't want to give
I
them
wanna
the
see your
matrix.
scoring criteria before you let out an RFQ.
But then we won't get it out by October. We won't.
Why not? You don't know how you're gonna score them, you don't know the
Well,
weight.
Okay,
Next
so
time we're gonna-
let's get back to where we're going. So let's back, so I've made an adjustment to my motion. Do I need to get another second for that, Bill? Okay, somebody give me another second. Okay, somebody give me another second.
To the
Oh,
revised
second
motion.
for.
Yeah, to the revised, where we are going to fix the spelling errors and,
We'll add the criteria.
okay, you wanna add the criteria?
Yeah, all that.
Okay, I add the criteria, okay. Okay, so.
And make the corrections that I told you need to be made. Appendix is not appendix, it's exhibit. Potential is anticipated
I'll
areas of
second that.
involvement.
Let's
Okay.
make the vote.
Okay.
Well, okay, so do you amend your motion to include Linda's comments?
I think that we're getting into nitpicky stuff here that is not relevant to,
Okay, so you're not amending your motion?
not for that, no,
Alright,
no.
So you can go
Okay,
forward with your motion.
okay, so Linda, yes or no?
I vote no, and I would like to go on the record to say that Catherine Frankie does not approve of all the comments offered by the board, only the ones that suit her agenda. Did you get all that,
Okay,
Allison?
okay.
Thank you.
And, Megan,
Yes.
Art,
Yes, and I wanted for the record that we will take all the suggestions made and we'll accurately put them in the proposal, or in the RFQ.
yeah, okay. Beth?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll vote yes too. Okay, so,
What's your rush, Catherine?
Well, I think we should wait. Yeah.
I want to know what you're all
Because she's
fire
gonna
and
wanna look at
hurry.
it.
What your hurry is.
because basically, I feel really bad that this project has languished because of my injury right afterwards. And I feel an obligation to move forward with it. Okay. So,
Can I make a recommendation? Let's do it for November.
you wanna push it, Okay,
That way we can do it, have a good document that everybody's happy with,
okay.
get it out. You guys okay with
Or
that?
October, do October, next month.
No, I wanna do November, make sure everybody
Okay.
looks at it and.
Well, wait a minute. Okay, hold on.
Because this is September, you could get it done by next month.
No, okay, let's make sure that I'm understanding your recommendation here. Because when you say, no, when we can release it, right now, the way it was written was it was gonna be released immediately, and the due date was the middle of October. What we're saying is we can make the release, the due back date in November.
Correct.
Okay,
I'm glad
okay,
you clarified that.
okay, yes. Push your never for response date, okay.
Well, that doesn't do anything to give the board an opportunity to look at the document. You realize that, right? Because it's
No.
already gonna be released.
No,
All
no,
we're gonna
no,
look
no,
is the contents of the
No,
submittals.
we're delaying it 1 month, Linda.
That's
so
not what she said.
No,
That's
I
not what she
was
said.
okay,
She's
I
gonna
was,
release
Clarify
it
what
now.
you said, so.
so what you were saying was, we're going to, the response back date is gonna be in November.
See, the
Right.
responses in November.
Okay, we were gonna do it in October.
You were gonna release in October.
No, we were
No,
gonna release
release-
it, when were we gonna release it?
We were gonna release in September for, response back in
We're gonna-
October. And
So now you're gonna release in September with a response in November. What good does that do the rest of this board from looking at a corrected document?
We're gonna let the board review, we won't have this done till October.
Right, yes,
So the document is not hitting the street until October. Do I understand that correctly?
That is correct.
yes,
Do you hear that?
yes, I'm agreeing with
So the
that.
board gets to look at the
The
document before
board
it
gets
hits
to
the
look at the
street.
document.
One more bite at the apple, Linda.
I love apples, Kathleen.
Okay, have we looked at everything, for agenda item 7, deed restriction enforcement actions? Okay, we've taken care of that. 8, request for accommodation for the emotional support animal. Okay, so do we have a motion in front of us, or should we just make a motion to accept, I make a motion to accept the accommodation for the emotional support animal for the owner in Anderson Mill West, Section 2.
I second your motion.
Okay. Do we have anything else to discuss as it relates to the emotional support motion? Okay. Go ahead and call the vote. Linda?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Art?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
I vote yes too. Okay. Future board meetings, schedule and scope of agendas.
We have our regular meeting set, agenda's already set for Wednesday. It's very important to have a quorum because we have to approve the budget, set the tax rate, public tax rate hearing, as part of that. And we have our bookkeeper's report, normal bookkeeper's report.
It's gonna be a long meeting.
Engineer's report. As far as additional items beyond that, we do have to approve an amended information form because we're changing the tax rate. Hearing, or part of the agenda. We do have the rate order on this agenda, but I've not received any input on what is proposed in rate order. We're gonna increase the rates or review the rates due primarily to Cedar Park increasing the wholesale rates.
Okay, so refresh my memory. So the rate order is, we're talking about the water. Is
Water,
that,
wastewater, base rates.
Oh, right.
yeah.
and so at the very minimum, we're going to be changing it to reflect the notification of the increased rates that are being passed on to us.
It's up to the board.
Okay.
They pass it along, and the rate order is a little bit complex, so before Wednesday, I really need input on what you want to do to have anything available to approve.
Okay, so we're gonna do the rate order and, the budget as well, right?
Yeah,
Right.
we do the budget early on, the rate orders later in the agenda, and keep in mind, you can amend the rate order at any meeting that's on the agenda. you can only set the tax rate once.
Right,
And so it's important as part of the discussion of the budget, but it is something you can address later.
The rate of order covers the water, wastewater, basic service fees.
It does, along with fire protection fee and
right,
all the fees are in the rate order.
right, but,
It doesn't deal with your tax rate. That's-
Right.
So, okay, let me understand this correctly so I can have this number prepared before Wednesday. So if water and sewer are passed through, no matter what Cedar Park increases their expense for water, if we do it pass through, we can afford to pay it. Is that correct? We'll collect enough money to pay for the water used.
Well,
The only reason to increase it would be to gather more revenue for using for other things.
I think generally that's correct, generally.
Yes.
Keep in mind that we have tiers of usage too. So when you increase the base tier or base rate, that probably guarantees you a certain amount of revenue if the usage is the same. And that's something Michael was with on the projected usage. The tiers we were going to get for the board, the
right,
current Cedar Park tier rates, just so you had them. Historically, the board's kind of followed those. So if you plug in the base rate, the increase you're gonna get from Cedar Park, you may actually make a little more than that in the tiers if people use a lot of water. So it's not an exact one-for-one trade-off there.
Okay, so to be clear, you're calling them tiers, and what you sent out, you're talking tiers as well.
yes, I'm talking
You
tiers.
just want more of them.
Yeah, I just think that we need more of them, I
Okay.
think, yeah.
I just want,
yeah.
because you're all calling it something different.
Yeah,
Okay.
bands, tiers, you know, I was, right, okay, yeah, so what I was thinking was gonna happen on Wednesday was we were going to, at the very minimum, do something that reflected the known cost increase that we're going to get no matter what. And then what I was hoping for in November, that we could have a more detailed discussion after we looked at, and after we do more analysis to figure out how we want to charge for water based on low usage.
Based on consumption.
Yeah, based on consumption,
So
exactly.
people who use a lot of water will be penalized. So if they water their grass a lot and keep it green, they're gonna be penalized.
I don't want to,
I don't want
to,
to put penalized.
I don't think it's penalized, because if this isn't the time to talk about it, but we
Okay,
can have a
we'll
more.
have that conversation
Yeah,
at Wednesday's
yeah.
So
meeting.
the rate order's on the agenda.
Yeah.
I put the identity theft policy, red flags on there. The board, I think Linda wanted to see more information about it.
Uh-huh,
So I haven't drawn up a policy specific to you. I
Okay.
think the question was it worthwhile based upon the collections that we've had or unpaid bills?
And we were supposed to get information from Infomark about how many accounts go delinquent, where they have to be written
I haven't
off.
seen that.
They have not given that to me either, so failure
Yeah,
on their
yeah.
part,
Maybe you'll be able to address it, maybe you won't.
failures.
so what I would say is that might, like I said, the Wednesday meeting is gonna be heavy.
Loaded.
Yeah, and so,
It's gonna be fun, ladies and gentlemen.
well, I don't know if I would call it
Oh,
fun.
yeah. it's gonna be
But
fun.
what I would say is, let's make sure that we attack the important pieces that we have to address on Wednesday. Okay,
Yeah, and they're at the top of the agenda.
So we're just having
Okay.
one meeting then.
that is the hope, that we are only gonna have one meeting.
Well, I'm concerned just that we identify the budget.
Oh, we don't have a choice,
We don't have a
because we're about to hit a time.
You absolutely have to approve a budget, set your tax rate on Wednesday. Williamson County is giving us 1 day extra. We're gonna have to report it the next morning to give you time. Travis County, we have a little more time.
Okay,
You have to set the tax rate.
yeah, so don't get hit by a bus.
You have to
Yeah.
have a quorum, yeah, we have to have.
Well, two if you can get hit by a bus. It's okay. There'll
No.
still be three.
Yeah, no, that's right, we need a quorum, that's it. Okay.
Catherine, are you okay with me posting the draft budget so that people
Well,
can
I
look
think
at
it
it?
has to
It's
be.
up there as an agenda packet item,
Is it up there
or
now?
at least we asked for it.
to touchdown.
Okay.
Posted.
Okay,
As
good.
soon as Michael gave us whatever the current draft is, which was today,
Okay,
we asked for it to be posted as agenda. Which reminds me, unless the board tells us otherwise, we're going to continue to have posted agenda packet items so that people that are on the live streaming can go to the website and look at the documents during the presentation if they wish to.
Okay.
So even though that's not legally required, we're gonna keep doing it.
Okay.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe of because right now the notice and everything is kind of buried. I kind of wanted to put it more prominent on the website with the link, like, so that people can access the budget easily, since it's an important
You can do
meeting.
that too, create a
Just to
new
make
one.
sure it's easy for people to find, 'cause,
Okay.
yeah, otherwise it's still buried.
I think it would make more sense to put that on there once it's approved, and that way they can see literally what their tax dollars is gonna go for.
Well, it will go on there when it's approved.
Well, truly that, but I mean, he's already got the draft out there, that's not an approved agenda, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with you posting that, because I don't want anyone to think that we have agreed as a board that that's how it's gonna look.
But
Well,
people
it
are
would be
gonna,
a draft.
yeah,
It is, and it's out there.
You'll recall that in the past, we attempted to get a proposed budget on the website so people could review it in advance of the meeting. Here it's a really tight timeline, but her just tagging it as a draft budget, I don't think that implies that it's approved.
right, and if people are gonna come speak at a public hearing about a tax rate, I think they have a right to see what we're thinking about in terms of a budget that's informing that tax rate, so that they can come to the meeting prepared to make comments if they choose.
Well, I would just assume that the draft budget would be a requirement to have been posted as part of, because we're posting, because we're having a meeting,
It's
a
not
rate
legal-
order
It's not a
meeting.
legal requirement.
Really?
Now that we're in person, posting the agenda packet items is not mandated by law. But I'm
Really?
telling you, we'll continue it.
Yeah, I do agree. I think we should continue to do that. I'm surprised that it's not mandated, but I guess I think not having a website is a requirement either, so.
It's real hard to not have a website now.
But it's not a requirement, that's what I'm trying to
Well,
say.
you have to have access to a website. It might not be a matter of website. You have to have a website that can do things. Some MUDs are using their manager's website.
Oh, okay, so.
Oh, one last question before you stop, close this meeting, and it's about the live streaming. If all it was a setting that prevented it from happening for the last year and a half, what's it gonna take to get that situation, that set up? It's probably already there and we just don't know it. So that it conforms to, hold on, I'll tell you, I wrote it down. So that it conforms to Texas Government Code 551-127 video conferencing, so that the entire board does not have to always be present as long as they're here remotely. All that's missing, if everything else is working now, all that we're missing is a screen to show the face of the board member that's not present. And then we could have a meeting next Wednesday and have it.
I don't think that's correct. The live streaming is a one-way communication, so just streaming the meeting out there is not the same as establishing a video
I know.
connection.
What I suggested was, since all the equipment is here and we were only one setting away from live streaming, what are the possibilities that everything else we need to do a two-way, as in this Texas Government Code's definition, what are the possibilities that we have everything in place to do that minus the monitor? There has to be a monitor that shows the face of the person dialing in. Other than that, what's missing?
Yeah, and I don't know the answer, but that would be a technology question.
I just sent that to the technology people,
Okay,
the young ones.
yeah, I don't even wanna think about what
And I
that
think
says.
Infomark's gonna have to be coordinating with that, because you're gonna have to be sure that the internet connection is sufficient to establish a video.
It's the same connection.
I don't know if it's the same
It's
type
the
of
same
thing.
connection.
I don't know if it's the same capacity of media.
Says 5G,
Yeah.
can't get faster than that.
I'm just saying, I
Okay.
don't know, you might be right,
Yeah,
Linda.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
what you need to look at. I would appreciate it if the committee would take that under advisement and be prepared to discuss at the next committee meeting,
Okay,
whenever.
agenda 10, adjournment, somebody make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion so.
Okay, I will second it, everybody say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, you wanna turn that off, Jimmy?
Excuse me, Parks Committee, I'd like to know if you can step outside with me. There's an issue with the water fountain I wanted to show you and see if it's something that can be addressed promptly.
Yeah.
the day, like tomorrow.
Is there a reason you can't just tell us the
Well, the
issue?
water fountain, it's tricky. There's no, you can't drink out of it, you have to.
Because we're not allowed to have any of them on
Okay.
right now, that's why.
Oh, they're on.
This
Well,
needs to be turned all the way
I'll
on.
ask,
We
I'll ask
can't have them
Mark
on
to
and
look
the
at it.
school
I'll ask
be there.
Mark to look at it.
It wasn't the pressure, but it's on, so can we increase the pressure?
I'll ask Mark to look at it.
I don't think we can.
Well,
We can
I don't know,
just
I don't
say-
know the problem, so.
And if you don't know, you should say.
Yeah.
We
Say,
turned
I'll
them
check
off,
into
we
it.
turned them off a year and a half ago
Well, this is on your way home, though,
when
right?
COVID
The pumps are
started.
open. The water fountain.
Okay, is
They
this the
can
only
be
one?
open, but the water fountains cannot be on.
Oh, okay, okay.
We'll just
We'll
ask,
call, we'll call.
ask Mark to look at it.
Okay, so how do we turn these off?
I think,
Did you ask?
I don't know. I
How do
think
you
press
turn
it.
these off?
I know, I thought there was a way to turn.
Press it in once lightly and it'll turn.
Check on the bottom.
I have some disinfectant wipes. Like your hands there.
I'd like to see somebody touch my purse.
Have a good evening. Okay, these were the minutes, okay.
Everybody wins then.
Okay, those are yours, right?
Yeah, but I got them for the district, so.
Okay, just put them on the table then.
Who's laughing at?
Turn off the recording equipment. Please stay there.